Oh, you should be able to hear me. Otherwise, I was doing sign language before. You had to read my lips. Read my lips. No new taxes. Oh, wait, that was kind of Nixon. There we go. There we go. Now we got it going. I gotta do George Bush. I can't do George Bush. What am I doing? Yeah. Welcome to the pre-show. Getting everything going. And oh yeah, don't do that again, huh? Okay. No impersonations. There you go. All right, well, welcome to the pre-show. We are talking about Billy. Not Billy the hero. Billy, don't be a hero. Not that one. Not that. A different kind of Billy. Yep, and you might have a gruff. There you go. Yeah, all my voices are the same. All the impersonations all sound the same. They're just different in my mind. So that's why I'm here and not in Vegas or something, right? Oh, thanks for your support. Oh, there you go. That's why this part gets edited out. Come back for the edit. Anyway, so we got some new graphics. Made some new graphics for the show. Checking those out. So let me know what you think about those. And tonight we're going to talk about why you don't want to be like Billy. If you read the email about the show, those that are on the newsletter list. If not, go to davestelma.com and sign up today. You can, yeah, it's a tough crowd. You're all a tough crowd. I get no respect. No respect at all. It's the same voice. That's it. But otherwise, if you want to get the notes about the pre-show and that, I'm getting a lot better on getting that out timely, on a timely basis. So that will go to davestelma.com and sign up for that, or you can just go to take the quiz. See how joyful you are. Go on the front page of davestelma.com and you can take the quiz and see what your joy. I haven't had any. 30 is the highest, and I haven't had anyone above I think a 27. It was the highest I've seen so far as a score. So feel free to go on there and take that quiz and see if you can be the first 30 on there. Yeah. And yeah, so there you go. But we'll get the show going in about 4 minutes. I am on YouTube. You can watch me on Facebook. If you're watching me on Facebook, I'm watching some comments on Facebook. I'm also watching comments over here on YouTube. So feel free to watch on either one of those, whichever the quality is better on. Personally, I don't know why, but I think YouTube has a little bit better quality. Don't tell the people at Facebook that I said that. But yeah, I think YouTube has a little bit better quality. Just me though. But feel free to make a comment over there. Either place, I'm watching those. If you have questions along the way, feel free to shoot those at me. But we're going to be talking about how you might be programming your progress and limiting yourself that way. How's that? We're going to get going in about 3 minutes, a little over 3 minutes now. I have a little bit of allergies going on, so hopefully that will not impede the show in any way, shape, or form. But what do you think about the graphics? You think about this? What do you think about the graphics there? What do you think about the new one? I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure feeling it yet or not, but we'll see how that goes. Anything you have on your mind, feel free to shoot in the comments section, and I will strive to get to that. Otherwise, we have about a half hour. We go from 6:30 to 7 every Tuesday evening. unless I reschedule because of teaching or training that I'll be doing. And I'll have some of those coming up this summer, so we'll see how that goes. But we'll get going in about 2 minutes now. Goes by really quick as far as this goes. And luckily, I do this because otherwise I'd be talking to you with no mic on right now because I didn't have that turned on. So thank goodness we do the pre-show. Yeah, thanks for the love. Thanks for showing the love and the wow face. Oh, I have a sense that that's Gabe. There you go. So hang on. We're going to start the show in about a minute and a half. Nice weather out today in Wisconsin. If you're seeing us from other parts of the country, we had a beautiful day out there today. I want to say about 78 degrees. 78 degrees in sunshine. That's a perfect day for me. I like that. I like more of the heat than I do the 30 below zero in January that we have in Wisconsin. Get your beverage of choice. And every time I say you can drink. Prost. There you go. So we'll get going in about a little under a minute. That goes by pretty darn fast, and thank goodness that I do it that way, because otherwise, like I said, I'd be mouthing words and you wouldn't know anything I'd be saying. And some of you be throwing things, and some of the comments might not be so good in the comments section. But if you do have a comment along the way, feel free to put that into the comment area, and I will get to it as soon as I can. There is always a little bit of a delay, so I let those kind of bottle up a little bit before I respond. But we'll be going in about 20 seconds now. Beautiful day out there. Full moon on the 9th, which is what? Thursday? Is that Thursday? No. Friday. 8. Yeah, 7, 8. So Friday. Friday's the full moon. Watch out for that. Welcome, everybody, to tonight's show. We are talking about Billy. I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't be like Billy and how your routine is really the problem. Right after the intro. So Sunday, I was out running, and I run the lake. Jump on the street here, run around the lake, 7 miles. I do that every weekend, and I'm getting back into it. I took about a 2-year slowdown hiatus. Yeah, somewhere in there where I ran more occasionally. Now I'm trying to get back into the groove of where I was about 2 years ago, which was a much easier and better pace. But I was running the lake, and all of a sudden it just dawned on me as I was looking down at my pace watch that I wear, and I'm thinking to myself, and all of a sudden I'm slowing down. I'm going, oh, I should slow down here, or I could walk here, and then all of a sudden it dawned on me about a story that when I used to facilitate the Financial Peace University that Dave Ramsey does. You see Dave's book over there, Total Money Makeover. Feel free to buy that. It's a good book. You'll do yourself well with that. But a story that he told during that course was about his sister who wanted to be in a rodeo. She wanted to do the steer roping. And how you start that out is you start out with a goat, because goats don't run as fast. They're not as dangerous as a steer would be, or a calf would be. And so you work your way up. You start with goats and that. And so the story he used to tell was about how his sister, so they bought a goat, and I'm going to call the goat Billy. That's where Don't Be Like Billy comes in. And that goat would run the same path. They'd release it, it'd run out, and you'd chase it with the horse. You'd rope it, pull it down, tie its legs, and then that was timed. So the goat would do, though, it would run the same path every time. So it wore out that path in the grass. It wore that same path out, and she'd hit about the same timing. She'd get the goat and then tie it up. So she'd lasso it in about the same time every time she did it. And so what happened was Billy then got to a point where you could release that goat, it'd run down, it'd hit that spot, and it would just lay down. And it quit right there. So they'd have to bring in a new goat, obviously, to keep the training going as far as learning to be able to lasso it. But the lesson there is we have a tendency in our own life to do the same thing and follow the same path and go down the same road to work, or do the same thing in a repetitive motion, but we're not getting any farther in life. And our goals, as we set them up, we may set up a goal saying that we want to, have our home paid off. But what are we going to do? We make the one single payment. We don't make a double payment. We don't do certain things. The majority of us, there's going to be some of you out there that may be doing it right, but there's some that are going to be doing the minimum payment. Well, the minimum payment then is, if you have a 15-year mortgage, you're going to pay it off in 15 years. You make double the payments, it's going to be paid off in 10 years or less, right? So 30-year mortgage, same thing, and car payments, things of that sort. Those are the most obvious ones. If we do the same thing, we're going to get the same results. And when I was running, I caught myself hitting the same spot and then allowing myself to walk, or telling myself, hey, coming up, I can walk. So on Sunday, I ran on Saturday, and on Sunday, I caught myself doing that in the first part of my run. So what I decided to in the last part of my run was that I was going to change it up. I was doing a different route. Well, then that made me, all of a sudden, I was just pacing. I was just running at a better pace that way, because I wasn't my mind wasn't preemptively signaling me that I could slow down, or I could stop, or my progress could be impeded, right? Because that's what I was doing. I was impeding my progress along the same route. I was allowing myself to slow down. So just a simple detour, changing the way I was doing it, was making my mind work in a different way. And it's something that, as a runner, I don't know if any of you are runners out there, but as a runner or someone that's in a competitive, could be biking, could be anything of that sort, where you're occasionally going into a race or into a timed event. When you get into a timed event, it's the same thing. You can all of a sudden you're in a different area, and it's amazing how you can go faster. Yes, you're feeding off the energy of the other competitors, but also you're in a different area, so you're not all of a sudden allowing yourself to go that same route and slow down in a certain area, or speed up in a certain area, and then, or do certain, get into the routine, the same routine. And in a non-competitive way, just think of it on a daily basis. Think of all the things that you do that limits you. Just family. You come up with ways that are limiting. You get up, instead of getting up earlier so that you can do something before, like, your kids get up, and you have to take care of your kids and get them ready for school and things of that sort. So maybe that's something where it's like, instead of sleeping in and then getting them out of bed and that whole routine, maybe it's that you get up an hour earlier and do some more me time for yourself, whether it's meditation, whether it's a workout, whether it's just having your solitude, getting up and having that solitude to yourself before you have to deal with all those other things. It could be, hi, Kyle. Happy birthday, Kyle, by the way. It's Kyle's birthday today. Everybody wish him a happy birthday. I should have a cake for you, Kyle. But don't limit yourself. Take a different route. Do a different routine to your day and make it conscious to do that. Let's start tomorrow. Let's start right now. Let's do something different. So let's consciously write down your list of things that you're going to do tomorrow. If you don't make a list, that's a change of your routine. All of a sudden, now you're making a list of all the things that you have to do tomorrow. Different things of that sort. Just make a different routine. Another story that comes to mind when I was writing this down and going through for tonight's show was the story that Zig Ziglar, Ember hates Zig Ziglar, so because he states the obvious. He's Mr. Obvious. But Zig Ziglar used to have a story. Oh, you're on a diet there, Kyle? That's okay. It's life is a diet, right? So Zig Ziglar used to tell a story about the daughter that came in and said, "Mom, your ham is always so delicious. Your ham is just the best. And why do you cut the ends off of your ham?" And she goes, "I don't know. Your grandmother used to do it, so that's why I do it." And so the daughter goes in and talks to grandma and says, "Grandma, Mom, what is the secret to that ham? Because you cut the ends off and ends of the ham off. Why did you do that? Mom didn't know why. Why did you do that?" And she goes, "I don't know. Your great grandmother used to do that." And so they go to the great grandma that's there at the holidays and says, "Great grandma, why do you cut the ends of the ham off and before you bake it? What is that the secret to why the ham tastes so delicious and that?" And she's like, "No. The pan that we had was too small, so we always had to cut the ends of the ham off to fit it in the pan before we could put it in the oven." But that's the whole moral to the story. Sometimes we do things and there's no real rhyme or reason to it. We just do it because someone else did it. I might be pacing myself, running, and that because someone else, what's my good pace is somebody else's bad pace as far as running goes. But sometimes we do things because of that. So think about it. Take a logical reasoning to it and kind of break out of the norm. I'm going to tell you right now, break away from the norm, because that's what makes the exceptional people exceptional. Yeah. In other words, be calm, keep calm, and choose a different route. Go a different path. Just think of, I'm going to give you an assignment for this week. Tomorrow morning, tonight, before you go to bed, start writing a list of how many times and how many things you do in a day that limit yourself, limit your success. We have, and most of the time, we're going to call them excuses, right? They're excuses. I do them. I come up with ways. If I'm just nervous, or like today, my gosh, on Facebook, I had so many people within Facebook and the Facebook group that were commenting and messaging saying, "I'm having some anxiety today. I'm having so much angst, just anxiety, stress that's happening today. Why is that?" And I all I kept doing is saying, "You know what? I'm hearing it from a lot of people. So there must be something in the cosmos today." I know we're on the cusp of a full moon, the June 9th, if you're watching this later on some other time in the reruns on YouTube. And feel free to go on the YouTube channel and subscribe to that, and hit the subscription button so you get, and what I do on the YouTube channel is I'll break it down into smaller segments. So each one of these is smaller segments. So you don't have to listen for a whole half hour. You can go for a few minutes at a time. But if you're listening at a later date, the June 9th is coming up, and that's a full moon. I want to say it's a strawberry moon for some reason, but I could be wrong on that. but we're coming up on that. And I don't know if that has to do with it or if it's just something in the air, but there's a lot of anxiety going on right now in the world and in this part of the United States and all that good stuff. So beware of that. Be calm with that, but choose a different route. So make a list this week up until the full moon and then hide under your sheets during the full moon. Just kidding. It's a good time. But make a list this week of how many times in a day that you limit yourself. Make a list of those things that you limit yourself to. I do it if I'm apprehensive on making that phone call, sending that email to a person. I'm not quite sure if I'm ready yet or something of that sort. And I'm like, oh, should I contact that person? I don't know if I should or what, But, I do that from time to time and I catch myself and I go, just do it. Just make the action. If it doesn't turn out, it's not meant to be. It's just not meant to be. So, in any case, take a different route than you normally do. Find a different route. Find a different way to do something. And you're going to appreciate that because all of a sudden it may soar you to another realm of success. You might go higher faster, and that's what this whole show, everything is, to give you ways that you can take and make your success breakthrough at a faster rate. I don't want you to have to wait to 53 to have success like I did. It's great at 53 though. I'm not going to throw it away. But I want you to have success at 30, 40. I want you to have success at whatever age you're at, whatever your age is as you're watching this. So take this, make a conscious effort as you go through. It could be as simple as driving a different route to work. It could be something as simple as that. What is limiting your success? Maybe you need to go a longer route so that you have more time to think about the things and solve those problems on the way to work. Sometimes not the fastest route is the easiest route or the best route for solving those issues. That's going to bring you success faster. Because once I know, like with me, once the computer goes on, you're checking the emails. It's like it's a good portion of your day is reacting. And yes, you want to control, you're in charge of everything how you react to every situation, every event throughout the day. And that's going to provide you with the outcome that you want. But still, how you react or what you react to is going to be, how most of your day is. Someone emails you, you react to it. Someone calls you, you react to it. And so a good portion during the day is reacting. Morning time, I can pretty much steer the ship the way I want to. I can take the reins of the horse and guide it through down the journey and the path. But during the day, it's a little bit different. I don't know if your day is set up that way, but that's how mine ends up. And so maybe it's something as far as blocking those out, chunking those down throughout the day that I'm only going to check my emails, at certain times. 9 o'clock, noon, and 4 o'clock are the only times I check my emails. I'm only going to look at Facebook. I have an addiction. To my iPhone and Facebook. I admit to it. I'm Dave, and I have an addiction. So maybe it's that you just check those at those times too. You don't get into the evolve. One thing that I did over the past year is I don't watch any news unless it's like on at a certain place that I'm at or something of that sort. But myself, I don't watch any news at all, probably for the past year, because there's just so much. News has become and evolved to a degree now where it's more commentary than it is reporting of facts. And then I can make my own decisions. So a lot of it's commentary now. So I don't even watch the news anymore. So that's something, that different path that I went down, because it was invading my thoughts. It was invading where I was going. It was invading my success that I could create. So I eliminated that. So that was a different route that I took over the past year or so. And I can attest, I don't miss it. Not at all. I don't miss it. I don't miss any of that at all. So this week, look at what, make a list of things that you feel might be limiting you. Could be just thoughts, could be reactions, could be the path that you take. It could be, think of if you're exercising or something of that sort, maybe do, if you always go on the treadmill, maybe do the elliptical. Try the elliptical for a while versus, or do yoga. Or if you always do yoga, maybe do something else, and shake it up and change it up that way. I think you'll find that all of a sudden the success that you're striving to get, let's take that as far as a workout routine and changing the way your body is. It could all of a sudden jump you to the next level just because you're trying something different. So go and do that this week. Make a list of the things and then change it up. Switch it up and do that for the next week and see how that is. See what that does for you and see if it takes you to the next level. I'm going to guess that it does. Even as a runner, if I do a stretching yoga routine before I run, I find that I can go at a faster pace. As simple as that. But if I incorporate different things throughout the week, as far as working out, I can find that then when I do a longer run, I may have more stamina. I have different things that, as far as a runner goes, and you can increase speeds. You can do all different things just by changing it up, not just always running and changing the route, change which way you're going and how you're traveling on that. Which leads us to solving your problems. Goes hand in hand. So now we're going to look at the solution and work our way backwards to what the problem is. That's what this is all about. Look at the solution that you want to, your goals, what you want to attain, and then we're going to work our way backwards. Hello, Gord. Thank you for joining me on YouTube. I appreciate that. The problem with YouTube is though all the chat goes away. I said this before, and I dread that. But go on to YouTube and make those comments after I repost it. But let's work backwards. Instead of coming upon a problem in our life, let's work with the solution and work our way backwards, because you're going to find what the problem is. Because if you're not, now we're halfway through this year. Have you already hit your goals? I do quarterly years, so I hit 2 of my goals, but I haven't hit all my goals for this year yet. So let's work from the solution that we want to attain, the goal that we want to attain, and let's work backwards and identify what the problems are that's holding us back. Simple one with running for me. The final solution is I'm going to be running a half marathon in August. That's coming up really quick. So I'm nowhere near the timing and the stamina that I need to be in August. So I need to step up my game. I need to change the way I'm doing things. I need to probably incorporate some weight workout and that to increase that stamina and to develop those muscles that I'm going to be using for that half marathon like I did before. In 2013, I ran, I want to say 4 half marathons. Might have been more than that. But within that year in 2013, I was kind of towards the peak, but I was improving, and then I kind of slacked off for the last 2 years beyond that. I went into 2014, and I think I did 1 or 2 in there, and then I kind of slacked off since 2015. So now I'm getting back into it. So I know what I have to do, and I know how to do it. But now I'm working with the solution and I'm chunking it down. I'm working backwards. Now I know how many weeks I have left. I know that I can't just take a week off when if I'm going someplace. Yeah, Amber. Yeah, I did 2 halves in one day, or a day apart, I should say. Did one half on a Saturday, and then I did another half on a Sunday. And it was fine. I couldn't do that right now. I can tell you that much. I wouldn't be wise to do that. But so I know so let's work from the solution. So write down what your goals are for the rest to attain by the end of this year. Second thing I want to do, I want you to do for this week, write down those goals. And now let's look at what's impeding you. What is the problem that's not letting you hit that mark now? We're 6 months into the year. You probably said by the end of the year, a weight goal. You might have said, hey, I want to weigh X amount by the end of the year, or I want to get my body back into better shape by the end of the year. Now you're halfway through the year. So we only have 6 more months to go. And so let's work with that solution. At this point in time, 80% of the people that joined the health club in January are now not going to the gym anymore. Easy one on that one. That's why they all have memberships. That's why they all have monthly or annual memberships. They don't say pay us when you walk in the door, because all these health clubs would be broke by now, because they'd all make money in January. They'd all make money in February. They'd start slowing down in March. April, they're still making some money, but by June 1st, 80% of those people are not going to the club, the health club anymore. And they'll make up excuses for it. They'll say, oh, the weather's so good. Oh, I can't go this weekend because the weather's so good. We got so many things to do. Oh, mom and dad will say, I got to truck all the kids around. They have sports now. They have softball league. They have this, so we're taking the kids around to these different sport things and that. But in the meantime, they're neglecting themselves. So what do? They travel somewhere. I long for the old days where it's like you were around in your area. And I understand now it gets them out farther and they can meet more people. But when you're traveling 3 hours for a tournament on a Saturday and Sunday, and by the month or 2 months into it, you're hoping that they don't do well and you can go home Saturday night. You're hoping that their team tanks and you can go home Saturday night and not have to stay for the rest of the tournament on Sunday, right? But you're sitting in a hotel, you're eating pizza, you're eating, you're not eating well, things of that sort, but you're at a sporting event that's supposed to be, good for your health and, trying to get this mindset, teamwork and all this stuff into the kids. So there's tons of excuses. You can come up with a lot of excuses, and you can probably spend more brain power coming up with the excuses of why you can't attain that solution or your goal by the end of the year, when you could just probably spend half that amount of time just doing it and getting it done. Go out, buy that bike, whatever it takes, whatever you're clicking with, do it. Go and just do it. Don't eliminate those excuses. And so work from the solution, what your goal is, and then work backwards. Think of instead of going, oh, these are things I need to do to succeed at this. Think of what you're doing right now that's going to impede your results. And then take a different route. Once you realize it, you can eliminate it. It's like anybody. It's like anything in life. Once you realize what's wrong. Oh, thanks for the hearts and the thumbs up. I like the likes and the hearts. I love them. Think of did everybody drink there? I said, but go from the solution, your goals, and let's work backwards. What are the things holding you back? And now we're going to take a different route. That's what this whole show is about. Don't be like Billy. Don't be like the Billy goat and run the same path and then hit that spot and lay down and quit. It's not time to quit. It's time to ramp it up. Let's ramp up it and let's get more success going forward by the end of the year. My goal, it's your goal. I'm going to force you to do it. So here's all these food for thought. Make it happen. Thank you. Thank you for the smiley faces. Thank you for the love. Got your homework. You got to cut out for the week. I'm going to be here next Tuesday, 6:30 Central Time, Facebook or on YouTube. Hi, people on YouTube. I'm not neglecting you. Come back with some comments. Shoot me with some comments after the fact. Come back in here and leave some comments on the other videos too as I edit them down. Like I said, I'll take the 3 segments and I'll make them separate in that. But make a list how many times a day that you limit yourself, what those limitations are. Note it once you mentally do it. Now take that goal, that end year goal that you were working on, that you said you were going to do, and let's make a list of all things that are impeding that and eliminate them and take a different route, and let's get that success going. Till next week, I'm Dave Stelma. You can come to davestelma.com, take the quiz on there, come to the front page, take the joy quiz, tell me what you are, tell me, and then come back in the comments and let me know throughout the week. Did you hit a 30? No one's hit a 30 yet. Highest one is 27 out of 30 points on your score. So take that quiz on davestelma.com, and we'll talk to you next week. Have a great week and make it special. See you next week. Bye-bye.